everyone, welcome to Dancing with Bella. So today I'm here with a stripper movie review. Oh my god, I don't think I've ever done one of these. I've reviewed strip clubs and books and just random stuff, but I don't think I've ever done a movie review. The movie I'm going to be reviewing today is called Dancing at the Blue Iguana. Some of you guys might have already watched this movie, but the first time I heard about it was about a month ago, and ever since then, like, I've literally watched this movie over and over and over again. For those who haven't watched the movie, it's not going to be a happily ever after movie. You know, it does have its funny parts, but most of the movie is pretty serious. This movie basically takes you inside and outside of the lives of 5 strippers that are working at the Blue Iguana: Angel, Joe, Jasmine, Jessie, and Stormy. And I believe the location is San Fernando Valley or something. I can't quite remember, but I just know it was in the LA area. So I'm gonna try to summarize each character without spoiling the movie for you guys. And I'm gonna start off with Angel. Angel is a beautiful blonde dancer who is trying to foster a child, and she has this customer in the club who's supposed to help her with the application process in order to foster the child. And that's basically how the movie goes. You know, they just take you through her journey, looking at her struggle trying to get to that point, and you know, like, all that. But there's also like this weird German, British, Russian guy. I don't even know what he is. He seems like a hitman or something. Anyway, so this guy checks into this motel next to the strip club, and every night he looks out the window and he sees Angel smoking a cigarette outside of the club. I don't know if he really falls in love with her or he's just like interested in her, but yeah, this guy will look out the window every night she works, and he ends up like sending her stuff. I don't know, I kind of get a stalkerish vibe out of him, which in the movie they don't portray it too much as if he's stalking her, but he's a stalker. That's basically like Angel's story. You know, like, she's trying to adopt and she has this hitman like stalking her and stuff. Now Jasmine, oh my god, Jasmine is a poetry writer. She loves poetry. When she's not dancing on stage on the pole, she's in the back in the dressing room writing poetry, and when she's not at work, she's at poetry readings. She's one of my favorite characters, to be honest, because I felt like I could really relate to her. I'm not really into poetry. I have tried writing poetry once in a while, but I'm more like of an artist, you know. I like to draw, I like to paint, and I just like to do creative stuff. I feel like a lot of people probably wouldn't see that in strippers, like, oh, you're a poetry writer, or you like this or that. You know, it's like, we're human, you know, like, we like similar things that other normal people like, you know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know, I felt like her story was more sad than anything. She really struggles a lot with love, and it just breaks my heart, to be honest. She falls in love with this guy who does poetry as well, and I guess the moral of her story is that, you know, like, strippers, just like anyone else, will sometimes get disappointed in their love life, especially in the stripper industry. You know, it's hard to find love sometimes because people don't understand us. You know, they don't understand the fact that we're human and stripping is just a job. And yeah, sometimes, you know, you can't get through to people, and we just get disappointed. Yeah, it's really sad. I don't want to give too much away because then I'd be spoiling the movie, but yeah, her story just touched me. In the movie, she also plays like the mama of the strip club, and you know, she tries to look out for other people, and she's very caring, but in the end she's going through her own things as well. So yeah, I definitely feel like I could connect to her character. The next character is Joe. Joe is a little crazy. I don't want to say she's troubled, because I feel like in the end we're all a little troubled, you know, but she's angry. She's angry at the world. I don't know what's going on in her mind, but yeah, she has so much going on. It kind of reminds me of my younger days. Like, I was literally always angry at people for no reason. Yeah, so Joe struggles with a lot. I don't know. I guess she does drugs, you know, like, she does a little dominatrix on the side. Somewhere in the movie, Joe also finds out that she's pregnant, and she's in denial at first, but eventually she comes to terms that she is pregnant. But of course, she's not happy about it. She wants an abortion. There's a specific scene that had me laughing my ass off because I guess Joe was in the hospital waiting to see a doctor and stuff, and there was this lady sitting beside her, and Joe, being Joe, she tries to light a cigarette in the hospital, and the lady's like, you know, you shouldn't be smoking right now, you know, it's bad for the baby. And Joe ends up being ticked off by this lady, and Joe just gets up and tells her off, and it's just hilarious. But anyways, that's basically her whole situation. Now let's move on to Jessie. Jessie is the new girl in the club. I feel like she's very vulnerable. You know, she's a little lost, but yet again, we're all lost. You know, she's still young. She's still trying to find herself, and I feel like she just wants to be accepted by everyone. And she also wants to please the customers, the dancers, and just everyone. In reality, I just feel like she lacks some guidance, you know, someone to guide her the right way and stuff. But yeah, I feel like she really struggles in the movie as well. You know, she gets beat up by her boyfriend and stuff, and yeah, it's really painful watching all these girls go through their lives and stuff, but it also hurts me more because I know that there's girls out there who are stripping and are going through way worse. And yeah, there's just so many situations though. Not all the dancers are gonna fit into the mold or the category of these characters in the movie. So yeah, I felt like they should have added more characters, you know, to kind of spice things up and bring, you know, like the reality to things. But I think they did pretty good with these girls, and you can still get the rawness and the reality from the characters in the movie. Okay, now the last character is Stormy, and I'm really disappointed about this character, to be honest, because I felt like they lacked a lot of information and a lot of detail. Like, they didn't really go into her story too much. I'm still confused about her situation, to be honest. So I guess the point of her story was that she was having an intimate relationship with her brother. You know, a little incest. But like I said, I didn't really get the vibe out of her. You know, I didn't really get her story. I couldn't connect to her. I couldn't relate. So I'm still at a loss with her, but in general, I feel like, you know, they all came together really well in this movie. Oh my god, I almost forgot that there's two characters that I forgot to mention. Well, actually there's three, but the last one comes in towards the end. And those two characters are the managers. One of them is Eddie, and I really didn't catch the name for the second manager, but it also shows you the relationships that the managers and the strippers have. You know, sometimes the managers will try to comfort you and they'll try to be there for you, including the bouncers and the DJs and stuff. But yeah, I could totally see that type of relationship really happening in the strip club. Now, the third character I forgot to mention is Nico. And Nico is a featured girl that comes in from another club, I guess. And she's coming in to the Blue Iguana for a party they're having there. Basically, they just show her dancing and having a conversation with Jasmine. But I did like that they included her in the movie because it did give the movie an extra point of view. This movie didn't really have the best reviews, but if you've never been to a strip club or have worked in a strip club, I feel like you're not gonna feel the realness of the movie and you're not gonna be able to connect to it. For us strippers that have worked in the industry, I feel like the potential is there to connect to this movie, either through personal experience or just by witnessing another dancer go through something similar to this. And I guess the moral of the story and the point of my review is that, you know, every stripper has a story. Strippers are still human beings just like everyone else, and that nobody has their shit together. Just like any other woman, another man, person, whatever. We have our ups and our downs, and we also share the same joys, happiness, and heartbreaks just like everyone else does. Behind every stripper and every person who's not even a stripper, you know, we're all dealing with our own devils, and there's just different situations for everyone, and we just gotta learn to come together and understand each other. But yeah, this movie literally took me on a roller coaster because it just touched a lot of emotions and a lot of feels. Now, there is a lot of nudity in this movie, but if you're a stripper or you've been to a strip club, then you should be used to this. There's no hardcore sex scenes or anything like that, but yeah, I would not recommend this movie for anyone under the age of 18. You know, it is a little provocative since the movie does take place in a strip club. But yeah, it's just a great movie for anyone who's interested in the stripper industry and stuff. Yeah, that's basically my movie review. Go watch the movie, guys. I'm fixing to go watch it right now. And if you guys already watched the movie, make sure you guys comment down below and let me know what you guys thought about this movie. And I think that's all I have for today. So yeah, if you guys have any other comments, questions about stripping in general, make sure you guys comment down below. Give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys. Mwah.